As parents, we want what's best for our kids. We want to make sure they have a safe place to live. We want to make sure they have food to eat. And we even like to provide them with nice things. And a lot of times we want to make sure they have things better than we had growing up as kids. But sometimes wanting our kids to have nice things can turn into excess and spoiling. And what happens when our focus on spoiling and getting things for our kids becomes a bigger priority for us than parenting our kids? Hi, I'm Melinda and welcome to my channel of Therapized Life. And if you've been here before, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the problems with overspending and spoiling kids instead of parenting. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then just keep watching. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please make sure to subscribe down below. And also, if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell. Because I am such a small YouTube channel, if that bell's not hit, they don't always let you know when I release a new video. And I don't want you to miss any good content that I have coming. Parenting doesn't come with a handbook. And there is no one right way to parent. A lot of times we learn how to parent from watching our own parents, or we read books about parenting, or if there's a couple or somebody we admire, we kind of model some of the things that we see that them do that we like. As parents, there's a lot of things we want to do for our kids. We want to teach them values, how to become independent and be able to take care of themselves as adults, but we also want to take care of them, buy them things, make them comfortable, spoil them a little bit. The problem occurs when that line between parenting and spoiling gets blurred and we lean more to the side of buying things for kids versus instilling values into there. So here are some of the things happen when we focus more on spoiling our children instead of parenting our kids. Sometimes we focus more on buying things for our kids instead of spending time with our kids. In our minds, we're thinking, hey, I'm getting them what they want. I'm making them happy. But a lot of times, all that kids want is our time and our attention. A lot of times the problem occurs is that the parent is either busy or they just don't have the time necessary to spend time, as much time as the child wants. So they think, hey, I'll just buy X, Y, and Z to replace it and make up for the fact that I'm not available. Either I'm emotionally not available, I just don't have time, I'm not available, or whatever the reason is. So I'll replace me with an object and a possession. The problem with that thinking, and the problem if that becomes a pattern for that child, is it does a couple things. Number one, sometimes it can negatively impact that child's self-esteem. They don't feel important for the child. They feel like that parent doesn't care about me. Now, this might seem opposite from what you think. Remember, now we just bought them what they wanted. So in our minds, we're thinking, well, hey, clearly they think I love them because I bought them what they wanted. What the child is thinking is that my parent doesn't care enough to stop what they're doing to give me the time that I need. Oh, yay, I got into their doll. Oh, yay, I got into their video game. That's nice, but they don't care that I want them and I need time with them. What they're doing is more important than me. So what this does, it affects their self-esteem, it affects their sense of self, it affects their confidence. So what it does is sometimes it can lead to one of two results. In the future, a child will either believe that, hey, I need to buy things for people to buy acceptance. In this situation, a child, again, because maybe their self-esteem is lowered because they weren't getting that necessary time and attention and affection from the parent, it turns into them feeling like they need to buy other people later in life. They need to do things to please other people. So they're constantly buying, spending money, because if I don't do these things for other people, whether it be buying them things, taking them places, doing things to put this other person first, they're not going to care for me because that's the way they viewed it from their parents. My parents didn't care for me. They just gave me stuff. So giving stuff becomes the way they show love. On the flip side, some kids are fine. They love getting this stuff. Matter of fact, they love it. But what it does is it gives them almost a sense of entitlement. And now instead, when they get older and as they grow up in relationships, they feel like everybody owes them everything. And hey, you need to buy something for me, or you don't want to get something for me, then I'm not going to do something for you. So they develop a lot of times very empty relationships, very shallow relationships, because everything is based on what you can do for me as opposed to us growing together and what we can do for each other. Sometimes time is not an issue. But as parents, we buy things to appease our kids and make them happy instead of establishing boundaries and teaching them that they can't have everything they want. Now, in this particular situation, you're available. I'm a parent. I have all the time in the world. But the problem becomes when I need to say no. Instead of being able to set those boundaries and teaching kids that, hey, you can't get everything they want. And hey, there are some things and sometimes you have to wait for things. Or hey, just not right now. It's easier sometimes to just give the kid what they want. There's nothing wrong with that happening every now and then. Again, there's nothing wrong with getting something nice for your kid. But the problem becomes when this becomes a pattern. And every time the kid wants something and it's going to be met with a negative outcome if we say no, we just give in instead of teaching them that life has rules. There are boundaries that we have to follow. There are sometimes you have to wait for things. There are sometimes you just can't get things and you have to be okay with that. The problem by constantly giving a kid what they want and always appeasing them, and the problem with not setting these boundaries, is in the future it can lead to codependent kids. What I mean by that is it's kids that are dependent on parents as adults because they no longer know how to care for themselves. Because they've never had to deal with boundaries and things being difficulties being placed in their way, as they're raised up in life and as they face adversity and hardships, a lot of times they are not able to deal with that. When they're met with limitations or rules that have to be followed, since they have no sense of structure in their home, they have a difficult time. They tend to buck against this, and this becomes harder for them to manage. So a lot of times later in life, these are the kids that, hey, mom, dad, I need you to help me with this. Or, hey, mom and dad, I need you to fix this for me, because mom and dad always fix everything. They never tell me no. They give me everything. So they just continue to lean on mom and dad as they get older. Instead of learning that I need to be independent, I need to learn to take care of myself, I don't have to do that. Mom and dad always say yes to everything. They never establish the boundary that, hey, I'm here to teach you to become independent and learn to do things for yourselves. Instead, they taught them that, hey, all I have to do is get upset long enough or complain or ask long enough, and eventually mom and dad are going to give in and give me what I want. Another problem with spoiling and overspending on our children is it teaches them to have no value for money. What I mean by that is when you have constant access to get all the money you want, when every time you want something bought for you, you're always given that purchase, or you're always able to buy or get whatever you need, then you don't begin to value money, and it's just something as a means to an end. Instead of seeing that, hey, we only have this month to last through the month, so we can't eat out today because we have to make sure we have enough to buy groceries and other things, that our child has now learned, oh, hey, I can spend as much as I want because money never seems to run out. So this sets them up for failure later in the future, because once they have to actually work a job or have their own money to manage, they've now learned the routine and the habits from young age that I spend as I want, because no matter how much I spend, mom and dad keep giving me more. And they don't value money. They don't value possessions. It's just things. Things that I acquire and I do more. Also, sometimes with these kids, what happens is when they are given possessions, they don't take care of the things because it doesn't matter. If I break it, if I damage it, I'll get another one. Money is no object to them. By not setting that limit or that budget, or by not making them have to do things to earn that money, they don't see the work that is required behind money. They don't see the value of money. And these type of mindsets can be extremely detrimental later in life when they have to be on their own, pay their own bills, pay their own mortgage, feed themselves, feed their future kids, things of that nature, because now they've established bad financial habits early. Our kids learn how to manage money from us. They get their financial literacy from us. So if they see us constantly spending, them asking for money, and we're just giving, and we're just a limitless ATM machine that's constantly letting them withdraw, then they don't learn how to manage money. Again, a lot of this literacy comes from young. So by teaching our kids that we need to set boundaries, by teaching our kids that, hey, you only have XYZ amount of money, it helps them learn to budget. But when we don't put these things in place and we just give them money whenever they want it and ask for them and buy them everything that they ask for, then later in life when they're on their own and they need to budget and take care of themselves, they don't have those tools available. Another problem that can occur when we just spoil our kids and overspend and don't make them work for money is they can make them develop a lazy work ethic. What I mean by that is that they've never had to work for that money. So they were never given chores, or they were never told that they had to do things to earn money. To them, money is just given freely whenever they want it and they just ask for it, or whenever they demand it in some situations. They never learned that they need to be able to work to earn that money. And they don't learn that it takes hard work and money is not just given to you when nothing is done. So later when they have to get a job, they don't want to work. Why? All I had to do was ask mom and dad for money, or this job isn't worth it. I don't want to do this. So then they no longer want to pursue and do things they need to do to maintain jobs because they've never had to work before for that money. Again, they have this mindset of entitlement to the fact of that money is just supposed to come to me. I shouldn't have to do anything hard to get money. So when they're working a job that they don't like, they're the ones that are quick to quit. Or if they're sleepy and they hung out all night before and they don't want to get up, I'll just sleep in today. And they don't value the fact that I have to make sure I show up to work so I can maintain this job. Because again, the job is not important to them. The job does not equal money, because that is not the correlation that was made to them when they were younger. When they were younger, mom and dad asking equals money. So now that I'm older, if I want money, it should just come to me. I shouldn't have to work hard to get that money. if we take the time to teach and instill in them young that, hey, you have to work sometimes to get money. So maybe you have to do chores, maybe you have to clean your room or do certain things to be able to earn this money, then it better teaches them that I need to be able to put in the work to get money. And money is not given to me, but I have to earn money. And it helps to shift the mindset. When money's just given, they're spoiled. Every time they ask, they get it. The mindset becomes, I'm owed money. I don't have to do anything for it. Money is owed to me because of who I am, as opposed to I have to earn the money and do something to acquire the money. So again, these are some of the things that can happen when we focus on spoiling and overspending instead of parenting our kids. Parenting is hard, and we're not going to be perfect. And there's nothing wrong with having some times where we want to do something really nice and spoil our kids. But what I am saying is we need to make sure that there's a balance between the two. We need to make sure that in addition to doing nice things and buying things for our kids, we're teaching them the mindset behind it and making sure that they're educated and have value and respecting for things instead of feeling like they're owed things or feel like they're entitled to things. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. Please make sure to comment down below if you agree with my points or if you have something different to add. Do you spoil your kids? Do you do things? Do you make sure to teach your kids how to manage finances and things like that? Also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe as well. Love to have you join our channel here. And thanks always for watching. Bye.